Well, that was a clip from Pitch Perfect 2, one of the newest movies to hit theaters and #1 at the weekend box office.
But is it any good? Can you tell us as our resident movie critic, Will Loper? Did I sell that okay?
You did. That was beautiful.
Now and again.
Well, the encore performance of the Bardenvelds is still funny, but it doesn't quite hit the same high notes as the first Pitch Perfect. So this time around, the Bells are competing in the World A Cappella Championship, attempting to beat the German team Das Sound Machine that you saw in the clip. The songs are bigger, the choreography grander, the story not as focused. One of the 3 or so plot lines follows Becca, played by Anna Kendrick, getting an internship at a recording studio and has to balance work and extracurricular activity. Another has newcomer Haley Steinfeld fitting in the group. The best part of the movie comes when the Green Bay Packers show up for a riff-off. Now, unlike Brett Favre in There's Something About Mary, the Packers this time around can actually act, and as part of an a cappella group, if you can actually believe that. And it was great seeing it in a movie theater in Madison because the theater went wild. Now, of course, this movie smashed at the box office. It made more in 3 days than the first one did in its entire run. 70 million.
Really?
The first one only made 65 million its entire run.
Most ever for a musical on opening weekend, too.
And
right?
most ever for a first-time director.
But yet, not as good as the first one.
I mean, it fell into that sequel, sort of, not as good as the first.
Oh, that's too bad. Okay,
Yeah.
so what did you give this?
And I gave this 3.3 Clay Matthews out of 5. He was one of the Packers singing in the movie. And Will's words, it's funny, not as good as the first, but you know, it's still worth seeing, especially if you love the first one.
Okay, so next up, Mad Max.
Mad Max, Fury Road, 30 years since the last one. And if you've ever wondered what a shot of pure adrenaline feels like, but you were too afraid to try it, just see this movie instead. You'll achieve the same effect. The action scenes are just spectacular, and I think I was white-knuckling my movie theater seat almost the entire runtime. Now, the story is simple. It's a post-apocalyptic world where water and every other resource is scarce. A dictator known as Immortan Joe has control of the water and food supply, as well as a harem of wives. The wives are taken away from him to live a better life by Furiosa, and it's played by shaved-head Charlize Theron, and the chase is on. In the middle of the desolate landscape of the movie, there are all kinds of different tribes, each with their own unique look. Heck, every single car and costume has its own look. The amount of detail in this movie is incredible. Tom Hardy takes on the title role formerly reserved for Mel Gibson, and for the first third of the movie, he's tied up and helpless in all the mayhem, and it's awesome. Now, the movie also ties in themes of humanity, so there is a little bit of substance, more so than just the action. Now, if action is your thing, I don't know why you're still listening to me. Go and see this.
It's that good.
Really?
It is. I loved it, yes.
Think Mel Gibson would be impressed?
I think I hope so.
So what kind of rate would you give it?
I give this 4.7 breathing apparatuses out of 5, and this is the coolest lung helper this side of Darth Vader. And Race to the Theater Now, Arnold Schwarzenegger accent is optional there.
That might be the highest rating I think I've seen you give.
Yes, for you, it probably has been the highest
4
one.
months or so, yeah. It's
Okay.
impressive.
I'm excited for what you're going to see this weekend.
Oh boy, we'll see. Poltergeist, the remake. Did we need it? And Tomorrowland with George Clooney.
See, I liked the original Poltergeist, probably.
yes.
I saw the preview for Tomorrowland, and that just looked so cool.
It looks unique.
Really?
It looks original. So I have high hopes for it.
All right, fingers crossed for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Will.